Hello and welcome to your financial journey with Whitaker-Myers Wealth Managers, where we will guide you to take control of your finances and give you financial peace. I'm Tim Hilterman, a certified financial planner and chief financial planning officer here at Whitaker-Myers. If you have ever received a paycheck, you've probably noticed a deduction labeled FICA. Remember that Friends episode? Who is FICA and why is he getting all my money? Well, today we're going to unravel the mysteries of FICA. And keep watching till the end. I'll give you some tips on how you can reduce your FICA taxes. So, what is FICA anyway? FICA stands for the Federal Insurance Contributions Act. And FICA is how America pays for two huge programs, Social Security and Medicare. You know your grandparents that are getting that really cheap health insurance and collecting a Social Security check every month? Well, they can literally thank you for paying for that. FICA is a mandatory withholding from everyone that gets a paycheck. And while you may be bummed to pay FICA taxes, you're not the only one paying. You might not realize this, but your employer also pays FICA tax. Here's how it's broken down. It's divided into two sections, Social Security tax and Medicare tax. Regarding Social Security tax, employees pay 6.2% of your gross wages in Social Security tax, and your employers have to pay the same 6.2% of your gross wages for a total of 12.4%. This withholding is applied on wages up to $176,100 in 2025. And if you make more than that, you aren't paying any additional Social Security tax. Medicare tax is a little different. Employees pay 1.45% of your gross wages. Employers pay it the same thing, 1.45% of your gross wages for a total of 2.9%. Now, unlike Social Security tax, Medicare tax applies to all earned income. There's no wage limit. In fact, there's an additional tax if you make too much money, according to the IRS's website. An employer is required to begin withholding additional Medicare tax of 0.9% in the pay period in which it pays wages in excess of $200,000 to an employee and continue to withhold that each pay period until the end of the calendar year. There's no employer match for additional Medicare tax. So who pays FICA tax? Employees. If you receive a paycheck from an employer, FICA tax is automatically deducted. Businesses. Employers must match FICA contributions and remit the total to the IRS. And self-employed individuals. Well, instead of FICA, self-employed workers pay self-employment tax, which covers both the employee and the employer's portion, totaling 15.3%. So why is FICA tax important? Well, as we said, FICA funds Social Security and Medicare, two programs that do provide financial stability for millions of Americans. Of course, considering your financial plan, we take the same approach as Dave Ramsey. Develop a financial plan and determine your own destiny. Don't set yourself up to rely on Social Security. But it is likely that there will be a Social Security benefit available when you retire. So here's the big question. Can you reduce your FICA tax? Since FICA is a mandatory payroll tax, it cannot be avoided. However, there are ways to manage its impact. And here's how you do it. Contribute to pre-tax accounts through your payroll. The most common pre-tax account is like a traditional 401k, or you might have something like a simple IRA plan at your work. But there's another pre-tax account that you might not have thought of. Do you have an HSA? If you contribute to your HSA through your payroll, it will reduce your taxable income and reduce the amount of FICA tax that you owe. Now, if you're self-employed, there are several ways to reduce your self-employment tax. First of all, self-employed individuals can deduct half of their self-employment tax, lowering their taxable income. Some self-employed individuals attempt to reduce their self-employment tax through deductible expenses. But just remember, the amount that you pay into the system in the form of self-employment tax is used to calculate your Social Security benefit. I knew someone who was happy to pay very little in self-employment tax for his whole career. But when he went to collect his Social Security benefit, he was in for a surprise. He and his wife were only eligible for a small benefit. Well, in conclusion, FICA tax is an essential part of the U.S. tax system, ensuring that Social Security and Medicare remain funded for future generations. And while it reduces take home pay, these deductions can provide long term financial security and healthcare benefits for many Americans. Understanding how FICA tax works allows you to make informed financial decisions and optimize your tax strategy. By planning wisely, you can balance today's earnings with tomorrow's benefits. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel to make sure you get our latest content. If you have a financial question, I'd love to hear it. Just drop a comment below. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for listening. Lord willing, I'll catch you next time.